Man, you ever been tired? Like I'm talking like dead tired. Like you're running a business in Western New York and state's trying to like destroy your business because, like who are you to think that you can just like go out there and enjoy free trade and commerce and, pour your blood, sweat, and tears into something and have it end up being worth something that isn't state-owned property. Anyways, that's just that hollow feeling you get when you look in, just when you live in New York, and you have like self-worth and you think that you should run your own business, and then the state reminds you that they're a communist state in disguise as a democracy, and you're just like, oh, that's right. Oh, I live in hell. Anyways, speaking of living in hell, oh wait, that podcast is next. Okay, cool. We're banging a whole bunch of them tonight. That said, welcome to this month's life theme. So this month's life theme, if you haven't guessed by the other two videos that were today, is Back to School September. So just like last year, we go from All Family August to Back to School September. So let us know in the comments below how your All Family August was. Ours was phenomenal. We got a great neighborhood watch going. We've got a lot of great traction on the internet with other organizations. Not to toot my own horn, but I'd like to think that the Wellsville Neighborhood Watch got started because they kind of saw the momentum we had. I could check with Richie. I'm pretty sure it was part of it. He probably saw it and was like, that's a great idea. We need to do something. And we've got to stick together. So it's not about me. It's about keeping the neighborhood safe. It's about keeping our community safe. It is about keeping our children safe. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Like, I've been watching a lot of these comments on Facebook about, just, no, you guys stop harassing the drug addicts. It's not their fault, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, that's great. Well, it is their fault because they've chose to be that way. It's not a choice. It was their choice to initially put it in their arm if their body cannot handle it without them becoming a zombie, right? The same people who, it's not, if it's not their choice to put their, their head in the mouth of a lion. It's not their fault that their head got cut off. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've got to steal from the great and almighty powerful Matt Walsh on this one. Like, yes, you deserve every consequence that comes of your actions. That is a very true statement. I accept all the consequences that come my way for my decisions to publicly display my life through this YouTube channel. So, it is what it is. We all live with our actions. We live with the consequences of those actions. And, hell to the rest of you who thinks that that you're somehow exempt from this kind of, portrayal of, I'm exempt from this. I'm entitled. Get out of here. No. You chose to put drugs in your arm. That's it. So anyways, so it's been great. We've been making progress. Like, one of my neighbors goes to the country fair, and she, usually gets her Diet Pepsi this time of night, and I think it's Diet Pepsi. She's going to yell at me for getting it wrong, but she was telling us, like, every time she's in there, and it's like, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and all the druggies are starting to, like, wake up, They not too many day walkers in the druggie community, right? So they're waking up, and they say, hey, we got to do something about them white ladies at the corner. They shake their heads. Those are direct quotes from my neighbor at the country fair as she walks in. They don't even recognize her. They're too far away. It's dark out, right? Like, they've got poor vision and they only come out at night. So they're kind of like those, they're like bats, really. I mean, there were those things from, what is it? What was the first movie to the Riddick movies? Like Pitch Black. That's what they're like, those giant, like, bat creatures that, like, I don't know, destroy communities and, feast on the living. It's really a good representation of what they are. But that said, we're making a stir. They're recognizing the white ladies at the corner. They don't recognize them when they're up close, but they know. They got to go find alternative routes to get to the drug house because them damn white ladies at the corner. So our our all family August has turned out phenomenal, as you can tell, which will lead us into the next podcast, but you'll have to stay tuned for that one. We will continue on with, let us know in the comments below how your all family August went, whether you had just as exciting time as we did, or if it was better, and then tell us stories. Come on, tell your stories. Anyways, so this month is Back to School September. So what you need to do is you need to help your kids transition back into school. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you have grandkids. Maybe you've got great-grandkids. Maybe you've got nieces and nephews. Maybe you adopt some kids. Maybe that's what you do. I have a neighbor that does that. And she's out there every night with the neighborhood watch moms and just trying to, protect their neighborhood. So, but Back to School September is a great time for you to get involved in your kids' lives with, learning how social, because they go to school and sure it is sure it is your STEMs, right? It's your science, your technology, your English, your math, and your sciences. There's 2 S's in there. Systems? I don't know. Anyways, whatever those stand for, we all know what you go to school back for, or what you go back to school for, and our kids are learning that stuff, and they are in school, and they are being educated, and sometimes, we question the education that they get from the state-run program, but most of the teachers are good-hearted in our area, and they're nice, and, I'm a product of public school, so, every so often I stumble over, anagrams like stems and, things like that. And sometimes I have trouble reading, but that's, just being a product of public schooling, also little Looney Tunes, that's product of public schooling. But with all that said, they also go to school to interact with other children their own age, and that helps them become better as a human being. Now, those kids can be rough around the edges. Those kids could be have less structured lives. Maybe those kids are more structured. And so our kids get to have a whole diverse, they get like a nice spectrum, I don't like the word diverse, it's too overused nowadays. Anyways, they get a nice broad spectrum of what the world has in store for them and how to interact with different people from different walks of life, from different parenting styles to no parenting styles to, it is what it is. And I think that it's a really cool thing that, kids have to learn how to deal with and have to do. And, it is what it is. So we are going to, I want you to embrace that. I want you to embrace the fact, and then also remember, you get that little reprieve now. You got to get up a little bit earlier so you can get your kids to school in the morning if they have to. And then you get to come home and you get to be on them on their homework and all that other stuff, and help out the neighborhood kids. It is what it is. So, but with that said, I just wanted to bring you back into Back to School September, folks. And that does not mean that you're not all about your family this month either. So if you started a neighborhood watch, please continue to promote it and get out there and knock some drug addict heads together and just kind of let them make a presence for yourself, that you are there, you're watching, and you're not giving up on your neighborhood like they've given up on themselves, their lives, their kids. Their kids are probably all back in school with whatever foster family they're living with because they're too busy, arms up, needles down. Life is a bitch. It can be. Or you can just roll over and let it make you its bitch. But we don't do that around here. We take life and we make life our bitch. So with that, I'll lead you into Back to School September, folks. We'll see you very shortly on Life22. Bloop.